So, we just took in Google's big AI leap event. And let me tell you, the future they're painting is probably not what you're expecting. We've boiled it all down, and it really starts with one massive question.
All right, so let's get right to it. Is the whole generative AI hype train starting to lose steam? The answer that came out of this conference was a pretty clear yes. But hold on. It's not because it's a failure, not at all. It's because the industry is already looking past it, towards something much, much bigger. The whole conversation has really shifted from, wow, this is cool, to, okay, how do we make this actually work?
This was the idea that just hung in the air the whole time. For decades, we've been hands-on, right? We typed into a search bar, we spent hours crafting that perfect prompt. But Google's signaling a huge shift. What if you didn't have to do all that work yourself? And this is the grand vision they presented. It's this move away from just prompting to actually delegating. One of their top technologists, Natalie Puanche, she called it the agentic tomorrow, a future that's driven less by our specific commands and more by our overall goals. I mean, this just frames it perfectly. Think about it. The 90s were all about searching for stuff. The last couple of years, that's been the era of prompting an AI to create something for us. But the next wave is about delegating the whole entire task. We're going to go from being users to being, well, managers.
And this image shows it so well. We are not talking about a single assistant like Siri. No way. We're talking about a whole ecosystem of AI agents, each one a specialist. Imagine having a personal health advisor that keeps an eye on your data, or a shopping advisor that's always hunting for the best deal. And then at work, you've got code agents writing software while security agents are protecting it. It's a team of experts all working for you. So what even is an AI agent? Well, it's definitely not just another chatbot. It's a system that you give a goal to. Something like, hey, plan my entire trip to Tokyo, or optimize my company's ad budget. And then it just goes and does it. It uses data, knowledge, and all the tools on the internet, like booking websites or analytics platforms, to get that goal done, all on its own.
Okay, so how does this big future vision actually connect with what's happening today? Well, AI is already making businesses rip up their old playbooks and start over from page one.
That old, neat little path, discover, consider, buy, it's been blown to pieces. People are streaming and scrolling and searching and shopping, sometimes all at the same time. And AI is right in the middle of this beautiful, chaotic new reality.
But here's a really fascinating twist. Even with all that complexity, Google dropped a pretty surprising stat. Turns out, in Australia, even if someone discovers a product on social media or wherever, a huge 65% of them still end up doing a final check on Google or YouTube before they buy. It's still that ultimate let me just double check moment. So if you're a modern AI-first startup, how do you even play this game? Mark Herman had some pretty radical advice. He said most companies are using AI all wrong. They're just churning out more and more content. He says the real win is using it for better ideas. In a world where anyone can execute, your brand is everything. And get this, he says to forget tiny A/B tests. Instead, make huge, bold bets right from the start. And maybe the most controversial tip, avoid permanent hires and just build AI into every single part of the business. Which, of course, brings us to the money. With all this disruption, where are the smart investors actually putting their cash? It's so important to separate what's real from what's just hype. Okay, first, let's look at the big picture from the data folks at Carta. After a bit of a downturn, venture capital is flooding back into startups. And guess what's driving it? Yep, AI is the main engine behind this whole recovery. It really seems like the investment winter is over, especially for AI companies. And the data proves there's a very real AI premium. Startups that are built around AI are consistently getting higher valuations and raising more money than companies that aren't. I mean, you can see it right here. The red line for AI companies is just pulling away. Investors are willing to pay more to be part of the AI revolution. But it is not a blank check. The top VCs from major firms like Blackbird, Airtree, and SquarePeg all said the same thing. They're not just throwing money at hype. They're looking for founders who know a specific industry, like law or compliance or farming, inside and out, and are using AI to solve a real-world problem that big companies will actually pay to fix. And that brings this whole story right back home, because a lot of that deep, real-world expertise is happening right here. The event made one thing crystal clear. Australia is having a serious moment on the global AI stage. Just chew on this one stat that the VC panel shared. In the entire Asia-Pacific region, Australia is now #2 for AI startup growth. That puts us ahead of major innovation hubs like India and Singapore. That's a really big deal. This isn't just a fluke, it's a trend. So this gives us a really balanced look at where Australia stands. On one side, you have these incredible strengths. We're producing world-class AI PhDs, we've got huge success stories like Canva and Harrison.ai, and that #2 growth ranking is amazing. But on the flip side, there are some serious hurdles. A real disconnect between the tech world and policymakers, big questions about data governance, and this is a big one. We still don't have a national AI strategy, when over 100 other countries do. And this quote from Sunita Mall at Harrison.ai just perfectly sums up what needs to happen next. The potential here is absolutely immense. But to really grab it, we need everyone pulling in the same direction. The tech can't just advance in a bubble. It needs a smart, strategic framework from our leaders to really let it fly and to build our own sovereign AI capabilities.
And that brings us to the final and honestly, probably the most important theme from this whole event: trust. It's the bedrock. It's the foundation for everything we've been talking about, from these autonomous AIs to these national models. Without it, none of this works. Think about it. For any big company to actually use these powerful AI systems, they need these three things. First, traceability. Can we look under the hood and understand why the AI made a decision? Second, compliance. Does this thing follow all the rules and regulations? And third, audibility. Can we create a bulletproof record of every single action the AI took? If you don't have these, no CEO is going to hand over the keys to their business.
And that's really the big takeaway from all of this. For this action intelligence to become a reality, it can't just be smart. It has to be trustworthy. We've spent the last few years making AI more intelligent. The next decade is going to be all about making it reliable. That's the real challenge, and it's also the biggest opportunity. The winners in this next phase won't just build the most powerful AI, they'll build the one you can actually depend on.
So, let's end where we started, but this time with a question for you. This future of delegation, it's not science fiction anymore. This ecosystem of AI agents designed to run parts of your life for you, it is coming. So the real question is, what are you going to do with all that time and mental energy you get back? What's the very first, most annoying, time-consuming task you are going to delegate?